Hi, I'm Dr. Nafisa Sekandari, an integrative and holistic licensed clinical psychologist specializing in anxiety based disorders. Today, I'll be talking to Dannette Penrod, who's a doTERRA wellness specialist. Through her own healing journey, Danette was able to specialize in using essential oils to treat various ailments. Let's bring Danette on and talk about using essential oils to boost our immune system and learn how essential oils can be used to protect us from possible viral and bacterial infections. Hi, Danette. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to talk to you today about essential oils.
Me too.
So, I'm sure you've been hearing all about this coronavirus pandemic, and people are freaking out and they're rushing to get whatever they can to help protect themselves. So, I just wanted to check in and see how you guys are doing over in Colorado.
We're doing awesome as you can. As you can see behind me, I've got my stash of oils, so I'm not in a panic.
You're all set.
I'm trying to diffuse the situation with my existing customers and really just everybody that's around me. I've been being reached out to a lot, and I totally understand. But I think that we have the power to kind of control not just our immunity, but also our emotions and feelings around that. So I think it's important both from a headspace as well as an immunity, immune support space to really be on top of things.
Definitely. I know you've been working with oils for a while, but tell me a little bit about your background and how you got started with essential oils.
Sure. Well, like most people, I had dabbled in essential oils that I had bought online. And it really wasn't until I had gone to a doTERRA essential oil class that my eyes were really opened to really the world of essential oils, that they were more than just pretty smells and that they could really be used more in a medicinal fashion as well as a proactive, because I'm a very proactive person. And having essential oils in my household gave me that power to be proactive in my approach to my health, my immunity, my pain, my whatever. And so that's kind of really how I got into them. Was somebody just asked me to go to a class, and I said yes.
That's how it gets started. So what exactly are essential oils, and how can we use them to help us deal with this viral infection or any bacterial infection that might be going around?
Yeah, so essential oils are derived from a plant. They are from the stem, from the seeds, from the bark, from the flowers, and really they are the essence of those plants. And an essential oil protects the plant from its environmental threat. It's what gives a plant its scent. And really they're teeny tiny little microbes, little teeny tiny droplets of essential oil sacs that are found within the plant. And if you think about peeling an orange and that zest sprays, or you peel a lemon and that zest sprays, that's the essential oil. So that those tiny little particles that are floating up in the air are what are captured through a distillation process and put in a bottle. And that's what we're using.
I'm sure it takes a lot to make one bottle full of essential oils.
Yes, every essential oil has a different, amount of whatever it is that they're needing. But it certainly is a process, and that's why you've got all different kinds of essential oils out there on the market today. You can you can find them in the dollar bin, but I think you need to be careful about what you're buying and where you're buying, because if your intention is to use an essential oil more on the medicinal side, and certainly not just for fun fragrance that you're diffusing, then you want to make sure that you have a pure essential oil. And unfortunately, just like our supplement industry, essential oils are not regulated. And that is what led me to doTERRA and choosing doTERRA for my family. doTERRA has, because of the industry not having a standard, they created one. And so their standard is called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, or CPTG for short. And basically what it means to have that label on a bottle, each batch of oil goes through a rigorous testing system. And I'm talking over 50 tests per batch. So they test both on site, where the plant is grown and harvested. And that's probably a secondary difference with doTERRA, is that they source their oils from the countries where those plants grow naturally. So if you're thinking about frankincense, is one we'll be talking about today. And doTERRA's frankincense comes from Somaliland in Africa. And why is that important to us? Why does it matter that they come from the countries that the plants grow naturally? That really has to do with the environmental conditions of the plant growth, the soil. So when you're starting out with a plant that's grown in its natural environment, it's already starting at a pure, a higher level than me trying to grow, say, I'm certainly not growing a boswellia tree in my backyard, but perhaps I could grow lavender in my backyard, right? But that's not going to yield the same level of essential oil as Bulgaria, right? Where that plant grows naturally, where the environment is, best suited for that plant. So you start with it being sourced in the proper place, and then you put it through a barrage of testing, and that yields, if providing it pass all the tests, because when an essential oil doesn't pass all of those tests, doTERRA will not label it CPTG. They will discard it. And so you can rest assured that whenever you see the CPTG label, that you know that it's gone through all of those testing. And one of the really cool things with doTERRA is on the bottom of every bottle, there's some numbers, and those can be plugged into a website called Source2U. And so it's www.source2u. And you can plug that number in, and they show you all of those tests that were done by the third party. So doTERRA doesn't even have a say-so in those testing, right? But they want to be very transparent with it, because they're trying to raise the bar. So for me, if I go look up these tests, that's all cool and good and like it's neat, but I have no idea what they mean. So where I think the importance with that comes from is that they are truly trying to be transparent. And if I was a scientist, or if I did understand them at all, I can look and I can see. And so they're really just trying to raise the bar. And I really feel like that's the doTERRA difference, is, their sourcing and their purity and the efficacy behind the oils.
So the other oil companies that are out there, like you said, you can find them at the dollar bin, you can find them at health food stores. They don't do the same testing or level of, level of testing that all the other companies do, or that doTERRA does, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say all the other companies. I mean, unfortunately, when you're buying an essential oil over the counter, and by that I mean at any Whole Foods or Amazon, and whether it's the dollar bin or whether you're trying to do something good like Vitamin Cottage or something like that, unfortunately, they're adulterated, which means that they've been tampered with. They have fragrance that's been added to them, or they have been diluted in some way. And that's another reason why pricing could be different. If you stack up 20 different companies' frankincense, you're going to get 20 different prices. Not one of them is going to be the same. And all of that has to do with, where's the oil coming from? How is it being sourced? What is the purity? So, I'll just be honest. When I started using essential oils and I bought my frankincense on Amazon, I was buying a big bottle of it for about $16. And I thought it worked. I did not like the smell at all. But I truly did think it worked. And one of the things that really opened my eyes to doTERRA when I went to that class was when I was told that I could take doTERRA's frankincense internally. And I was like, that was very eye-opening for me, because I was like, what do you mean? The bottle that I have at home doesn't say that I can take it internally. It says aromatic or topical.
Right.
If you're lucky, it'll have those two. Some of them will only say aromatic. So that's one way to kind of know if it is really truly 100% pure therapeutic grade, which a ton of companies slap that label on the bottle. But the fact of the matter is, because it being unregulated industry, in order for them to put that label on the bottle, they have to have 1% of pure oil.
Wow.
And the rest could be fillers, fragrance, whatever. And that's why you'll also notice a difference in the scent or the smell of the different oils, is because of of what's chemically been added. doTERRA's whole purpose is that they want Mother Nature at its best, and you can't really improve upon Mother Nature. But all these other essential oil companies are trying to skirt around or improve upon by adding stuff to it. And really, we just need the pure oil to do its job. So that's really, I think I answered your question, maybe.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know necessarily anything about essential oils. Maybe they're just using it to diffuse, or they just like the scent. But a lot of people aren't sure how to use it to help them treat various ailments, because oils can be used for so many different reasons. Today's topic is just to deal with getting sick, a cold and flu season, or even dealing with viral and bacterial infections. So, but it's used for so much more than that, right? But to keep focused on today's topic, how can we use essential oils to boost our immune system and to help us either prevent a cold or flu, or even get over or a sickness?
I'm going to touch on just real quick why essential oils, and especially taken internally, are beneficial. And that's because essential oils are an oil. So if you consider like this is a cell, and they have a fatty membrane around it. Well, essential oils can actually penetrate that cell wall, and they can help heal from the inside out. Our modern medicine, and I'm not knocking modern medicine by any means. I think that our Western medicine has some amazing benefits when it comes to, cancer treatments and broken bones and,
severe infections.
Yeah, I would say this is essential oils are a great start and helping us to be that preventative and being proactive in our measures. But they're certainly not to replace everything. Okay. I do want to be clear with that. I mean, I am a crazy oil lady, but I'm not, not to the point that I think that it can do everything for you. But anyway, my point being, modern medicine, is mostly water-based, and water cannot penetrate that cell wall because it has that fatty membrane around it. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes essential oils more effective at treating, especially a bacterial infection, right? Because it's penetrating the cell wall, where what we're getting over the counter or from the doctor cannot do that. Mm-hmm. So, and if you think about it, we're not going to the doctor and asking for, hey, what can I do to prevent a cold, right? We're only going to the doctor when we have an ailment and we need help. So if you think of it from that standpoint, having these in your home to help, and our immunity is something that is, we neglect it, right? Like we don't, it's not in the forefront of our mind all the time, unless and or until we get something. When we get that tingling in the back of our throat, or we get that soreness, or our ear hurts, or whatever, we don't tend to think about our immunity on a day-to-day basis until something's wrong with it. So of course, things like, and I know everybody's inundated right now with hearing, wash your hands, but it's so true. This is something that we should be doing all the time. But there are, doTERRA has one specific called On Guard, and On Guard is their protective blend. And that is one that my entire family, including my 13-year-old, who just turned 13 2 days ago, he uses it. We use it all the time, every single day. We are taking that preventative measure to boost our immune system every single day so that we don't get sick and we don't worry about, if we did get that tingle in our throat, we have something we can use that's going to take it out right away and not have to worry. Or, even if you do come down with something while you're using essential oils, the incubation period in which you have that ailment is lessened, because if you're using these oils so do you want to kind of go into some of the oils? I'll just say right off the bat, aside from the On Guard protective blend, because there are so many out there, guys, and I don't want to be overwhelming. So I'll just say the On Guard is amazing. It's got wild orange, clove, eucalyptus, cinnamon, and rosemary in it. So obviously those by itself are great immunity boosting oils. But frankincense is a fantastic immunity boosting oil, as is oregano. I consider oregano like a natural antibiotic. And copaiba, which is from a tree in Brazil. Those three are really, really great for immunity boosting, especially right now.
And there's so many different ways to use, like, for example, let's just talk about On Guard. Mm-hmm. How can you use On Guard specifically to kind of help us stay healthy? And then also, if we are sick, how can we help ourselves get better?
Sure. On Guard comes in a bunch of different forms. It's one of doTERRA's most popular blends, and as such, being the protective blend, they have it in many different forms, meaning they've got it in a hand soap. So right now, I'm using I use it every day. Well, who am I kidding? Not just right now. But I mean, if you're not there yet, you could just add some On Guard into your existing hand soap. If you don't have the doTERRA On Guard hand soap, I actually have a recipe to make your own On Guard hand soap. I also use On Guard hand sanitizer. Have a recipe for that too. Really, the difference with using the essential oil, right, versus like the hand sanitizer that you can buy at the store, is it's creating a protective barrier. On Guard, there's studies on PubMed that show that On Guard kills germs at a very, very effective rate, and that on surfaces particularly, if you use On Guard for cleaning, because that helps our immune system. Food is one of the biggest culprits for how people get sick, right? Whether they didn't wash their hands when eating, or the preparation of the food was done on a germ-fested surface, or whatever the case is. So I spritz On Guard on my countertop. And so these tests have shown that bacteria can't grow within 7 days, whereas like a Lysol wipe or a Clorox wipe, you have to read the back of the label and follow it to a T if you're going to use them, because you are supposed to leave your surface visibly wet for 20 minutes.
Wow.
Before nobody does that, right? But even still, even following the directions to a T, within 30 minutes, bacteria is starting to grow.
Mm.
So using an On Guard, though, bacteria won't grow for 7 days. So it's just important to, not just wash our hands, but also the surfaces in which we're preparing food, and things like that. But so we addressed hand sanitizer, cleaning our surfaces. My family takes it internally every day. They actually have a supplement, a soft gel that is On Guard, the On Guard blend, Melissa and black pepper, and a little bit of oregano, I believe, as well. So it's called On Guard Plus, and that's a great daily immune system booster. Or if you're getting that twinge in your throat or you're starting to come down with something, then you would up that. Also for little kids or even babies, you can make a rollerball blend of those different oils that I have mentioned and create a immunity boosting rollerball that you can apply to the bottom of their feet. So obviously babies and kids, little kids are not swallowing. But doTERRA even makes, they're called beadlets, and they're a quarter of a drop of oil. I don't know how in the world they do that, but it's teeny, teeny, tiny. And so it can be put in the mouth of, a 3-year-old or 4-year-old or 5-year-old, and they can swallow it no problem.
So one of the ways that oils can be used is diffusing. Can you do that with On Guard as well?
I love diffusing On Guard. You can totally diffuse it by itself. Obviously, it's a blend of 5 different oils, so it's a wonderful one to diffuse. Diffusing is wonderful for cleansing and purifying our air. So that's one of the things that makes diffusing essential oils way different than, say, burning a candle. It's not about a scent as much as it is about what it's doing in the air, as well as the diffusion still enters our system and hits our olfactory nerve, that hits our limbic system, and it really still travels throughout our entire body. And so diffusing is excellent for not just cleansing and purifying the air, but also what it does for us from an emotional standpoint and a mental standpoint. And it still does, like I said, eventually it will get into our bloodstream, and it still touches every cell in our body. So it's a great way, very, very easy, especially for people who are just starting out with essential oils and might not have the same liberalness that I do with taking them internally.
Is there a process that you prefer over the others, like diffusing over internal versus topical? What would you recommend?
I can't really say that I recommend one over the other. I think it's about your personal preference and what you're comfortable with. In my family, we use all 3. Like I said, I'm diffusing right now. I diffuse every day, whether it's to be that proactive preventative in like upstairs, for example, and on my main level, I'm diffusing wild orange and On Guard, right? I'm trying to just kind of clean and purify the air. But down here in my office, I am diffusing, today I'm diffusing palmarosa, lemon, and wild orange. And so it's called Sunshine. And I just thought, well, gosh, it's a beautiful Sunday, and I'm going to bring that liquid sunshine into my office. So that's more about mood. I think that internally I take them as a preventative on a daily basis. And topically, I use them for mood management. I use them for skin issues, or, really, honestly, I use all 3 modalities every single day. So, Yeah, I can't really say I prefer one over the other. I really do believe it's about personal preference.
You mentioned putting On Guard in a roller bottle and rolling it on the baby's feet. Can you do that for adults as well? And what are some other ways we can use On Guard or even some of the other oils you talked about in a roller bottle? So if you can talk a little bit about that.
Sure, yeah. On Guard can be used diluted in a roller bottle for all ages. I have a dilution chart that I can share that will show you kind of, at what level, starting out from a baby, like in a 10 milliliter bottle, you'd only want to do 1 drop and fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, some sort of carrier oil, right? I prefer fractionated coconut oil because it's not going to stain anything, and it's really good for your skin. But like for an adult, let's say, if I were just using the On Guard blend, then I might do, 15 to 20 drops in a 10 milliliter bottle. So it really is dependent on what age you're dealing with and what are you trying to do, if it's a daily preventative or if you're already sick. So if you already have a sickness, then my recommendation would be to add your oregano to it. Add lemon is a great one. Melaleuca or tea tree is a great one to add. Melaleuca and tea tree, that's the same thing. So I do have different recipes, and that's one of the things that I do personally is help to educate in that realm. I provide DIYs, I provide recipes, I provide just ongoing support and education behind the products.
Somebody asked me the other day if you can add On Guard to water and drink that. And have you ever done that? And have you tried adding it to maybe a little bit of water?
I don't sip on Guard, but I have been known to put a drop in my mouth and swish it around and gargle it and then swallow. So on the rare occasions that I feel that tingling in the back of my throat or that teeny tiny bit of soreness, I will just do a drop of On Guard in my mouth underneath my tongue. Then I'll take a sip of water and I literally will swish it around and gargle it and then swallow. People do it all the time because of the cinnamon and the clove. On Guard specifically is a little bit on the spicier side. So if you like that, then there's absolutely no problem with you sipping on the water. But if you're not a fan of that, then we call it shooting the water, right? Where you would take, a little shot glass and maybe 2 to 4 ounces of water and put, literally all you need is 1 drop. So just do your 1 drop and shoot it back. So it really just depends. For those people who want to take it internally and have the aversion to the taste, a great way to take them internally would be to get an empty veggie capsule. doTERRA sells them. I know Amazon sells them. You can get them pretty much anywhere. Where you basically then you're making your own pill and remedies for whatever it is that you need. So I love making my own capsules every day.
So I know you mentioned doTERRA. Can you tell us where people can buy doTERRA and how? And then you said you support people with the oil. So if you can talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I sell doTERRA essential oils. It's what I do 99% of the time. I do work for corporate just 1 day a week. But so my job as my company's Wellness Spoiled, and I support people who are ready to take that journey with essential oils. The whole purpose behind doTERRA and buying through a wellness advocate like myself is that you're getting that support and that education versus just going to the store and grabbing an essential oil and not really knowing everything that oil is good for. Mm-hmm. So you can go to doTERRA.com and take a look around. If you know someone who uses doTERRA, I'm sure they probably have a suggestion for you of who you can go to buy through. I support all across the globe, so we don't have to be in the same local area, because with our technology today and email and videos and all sorts of stuff, there's no reason that I can't support you regardless of where you're at. And I would love to support you. That is what I do. It is my passion. And so you can reach out to me. My website is wellnessspoiled.com. And we can probably put a link somewhere, maybe. But you can reach out to me there. Or yeah, I would just say that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. That'll email me and then we can be in touch. I do classes online. I actually have one tomorrow, as well as another one this Thursday. Not sure how soon you're doing this.
I did notice your blog. You have a lot of information about recipes and ways to use the oil. So is that on wellnessspoiled.com as well?
Yes, I have. I actually have a frequently asked questions section on my website that would pretty much answer everything that we talked about today, as well as there's my blog that Nafisa mentioned that I can, I do it twice a week typically. And I do have all sorts of recipes and downloadables. And I have a section on my website for free ebooks where I'm not even collecting your email address. I just want people to have the information readily available to them. And then if you want to get on my newsletter list, and I will email you once a week with that new blog post. And then like today, I sent out an email today for anyone on my newsletter list on ways that they can handle this COVID-19 and boosting their immunity with essential oils. So
perfect timing. How can people reach you on social media? Do you have Facebook, Instagram? If you can list all of that, and then I can post a link on here as well for people, but just mention what your social media sites are.
Yeah, so I am online, the wellnessspoiled.com. On Facebook, I am at wellnessspoiled. And then on Instagram, I am just at Dannette Penrod.
Do you have any parting words for us on staying healthy and trying to get through this social distancing that we're supposed to go through?
My parting words would just be to hang in there. This too shall pass. And really try to equip yourself now so that in the future that you won't have to have the worry or panic, because you will have the confidence in knowing that what you have at home can support your family.
Thank you, Danette, for being here and sharing all that information with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you taking the time to help support your patients and students, and really just whomever finds this video.
Well, thanks again. Take care. So there you have it. Using essential oils can be a great way to boost our immunity and protect ourselves no matter what viral or bacterial infection is coming our way. Obviously, if you're sick with the coronavirus or the flu, it's important to seek medical attention right away. Although the oils can be great at preventing illness and boosting our immune system, I'm not suggesting it's a cure-all for everything. We still need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves and keeping up with washing our hands and keeping our distance from people who are contagious. I hope you found this information helpful. Now comment below and let me know if you've used essential oils to help you or your family. Take care and be well. Until next time.